101.5 right here in the city of Ibadan. Conversation has to do with us reading stories, headlines, and giving analysis, opinions, and views, and also allowing you to join the program through telephone calls to present your own views. My name is Bimbo Akobi, and yes, we are with Okiogun FM 96.3 and Agility 92.1 FM. Simultaneously, we are this program is being aired at the same time together. Also, on our Facebook account, you can reach us there. That means we are beyond the reach of all other stations. Conversation is the program. Bimbo Akobi is my name. Yes, there are some stories here to start with, and experts warn of dangers as Tinubu jacks up 2025 budget to 54.2 trillion naira as National Assembly promises to pass budget before end of February. Yes, they will pass it before end of February because they know the implications, well, the financial implications of the passing quickly. The federal government has initiated moves to increase its 2025 budget to 54.2 trillion naira, up by 9.1% from 49.7 trillion naira initially presented to the National Assembly on December 18, 2024. A letter from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to the National Assembly requesting the increase was read at plenary yesterday by President of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio. The letter was titled 2025 Appropriation Bill, Allocation of Additional Revenue of 4.53 trillion naira. According to Akpabio, the increase arose from 1.4 trillion naira adding additional revenues made by the Federal Inland Revenue Service (FIRS), 1.2 trillion naira made by the Nigeria Customs Service (NCS), and 1.8 trillion naira generated by some other government-owned agencies. Experts warn of dangers as Tinubu jacks up 2025 budget to 54.2 trillion naira. And well, the dangers, the experts, I don't understand what dangers mean, but I know that they did not, why the jack up of the budget to 54.2 trillion naira, did they not envisage all this before they passed the first budget? Now they're jacking up again to 54.2 trillion naira, and the experts, stakeholders, they are seeing some things. Yes, that is why they are talking. Now, like governors, PDP BOT endorses Ude Okoye as National Secretary, wants him sworn in immediately. It's an invitation to anarchy, says Anyawu. And yes, the governors, they endorsed Ude Okoye as the National Secretary of the party, the position which has been, causing problems all this while. Now, we are not really sure whether it is all the PDP governors that endorsed him, but I'm sure majority of them have endorsed him, and they want him to be sworn in immediately. And Anyawu is saying the resignation of Ude Okoye is invitation to chaos. Let me go through the story. The Board of Trustees, BOT, of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has formally recognized Honorable Sunday Ude Okoye as the substantive National Secretary of the party, solidifying his position following endorsements from other key party organs. This recognition was contained in a communique issued at the end of an emergency meeting held at the Transcorp Hilton Hotel in Abuja, when the both deliberated the critical issues concerning the party's leadership and internal cohesion. According to the communique, the board's decision followed an exhaustive review and adoption of the report submitted by a committee chaired by Kabiru Tanu Turaki. The report centered on the legal contest surrounding the position of National Secretary, particularly in the light of a declaratory judgment from the High Court of Enugu, which was subsequently upheld by the Court of Appeal. Yes, PDP board endorses Ude Okoye as National Secretary, and the one thing, the governors and the PDP want him sworn in immediately. Yes, sworn in immediately. And they are, Anyawu is saying it is an invitation to chaos. Yes, he described the recognition of Sunday Ude Okoye as the occupant of the position by the board as an invitation to chaos, and Anyawu in a telephone interview on Wednesday in Abuja said the BUT had no powers to direct the party to recognize Ude Okoye as the party's national secretary. And reacting to the board's advice, Anyawu said that the matter was already in court and the board had no powers to offer such advice. Yes, that is the situation with the PDP now. The Ude Okoye has been recognized as the substantive national secretary of the party, and the like governors and PDP board, they also want him sworn in immediately. Why the rush, Tola?
You have this saying that when you're defecating and you spend too long there, that the wrong species of flies would get to meet you, would come to pester you at that particular spot. So I think I must to avoid that, to avoid anyone towards well, there must not be a vacuum, and of course Mr. Ude Okoye's contestants having the ability to fight back now, and they have that very potent ability. So it must be sworn in, so that nothing would at least stop that swearing. So maybe the Dogo battle will now continue. I don't know, but then he has been sworn in, and I hope, like we always say, that the PDP will put its house in order. They are looking to unseat the ruling party in 2027, and they've already been boasting about this, but how they will be able to achieve this without putting their house in order, and of course without the input of Nigerians who may not be seeing them as a serious political party with all these wranglings, all these unnecessary wranglings. I call them unnecessary because that is the way I see it. And of course then there is the so-called third force, the so-called coalition being formed ahead of 2027, who have even said that they do not consider, they do not rate the PDP at all. Well, we'll see how it unfolds, but then every political party, everyone that wants to contest, that wants to throw their hat in the ring in 2027, they must be ready for that contest, and they must put their houses in order. President Tinubu, it was in the news yesterday that he jacked up the 2025 budget, 54.2 trillion naira.
I was thinking about this phenomenon of presenting or passing a budget and jacking it up again. Didn't they see that they will need up to that before they read the budget and passed it?
But it's really the other way around, Bimbo. The budget will be presented to the National Assembly, and the National Assembly that will look at some things and then decide to jack up the budget. But this time around, it's the president that presented the budget that is again jacking it up.
That is what is supposed.
And I wonder, well, budget defense has been ongoing from the various ministries, departments, and then agencies. So in the midst of this, I wonder who and who will be getting the extras. They said that Tinubu cited certain, they said they cited increase in revenue coming from certain agencies. So it means it jacked up the budget because there is more money coming in terms of generated revenue.
From the FIRS, the Customs, and some other agencies.
Well, some are saying that it is in conflict with the CBN policy. And some are also saying it will increase size of deficits. And the budget minister has been doing some explanation as why 2025 budget was increased to 54.2 trillion naira. Nigerians are always apprehensive of these things because of the fact that we always want at the long run to have something that will improve the lives of the average Nigerian. So if in the long run nothing really changes, that's why Nigerians over time always have distrust and deficit. So now it is up to Mr. President, it is up to the government he presides over to convince Nigerians that this is indeed necessary and that Nigerians will be the better for it. But then that remains to be seen and not said. That remains to be seen. And then also for the sake of the future, so that again when this happens in the future, we'll be able to sit back and say, okay, we did this in the past and it was for the good of each and every one of us. But as long as things remain as they are, not getting better but worse, Nigerians will continue to pick holes in whatever actions the government deems it necessary to carry out at any point in time, regarding the nation's finances.
Yes, this one has to do with finance too. And it says, government officials paid 100% for same hospital project 5 times without construction. That is according to the ICPC boss. In a startling revelation that underscores the depth of corruption within Nigeria's public sector, the chairman of the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission ICPC, Dr. Musa Aliyu, has disclosed that government officials fraudulently paid for the same hospital project 100%, not once, but 5 times, without a single structure ever being built. Dr. Ali made this disclosure during an engagement with media executives in Abuja on Tuesday, and he described the incident as a glaring example of how deeply entrenched corruption has become in Nigeria's governance system, stressing the urgent need for collective action to combat the menace.
I fear for the ICPC chairman because I know why I say this, that he may be dipping his hands into a scorpion hole. And why I say this again, is that from the sound of what you read just now, this to be like that particular hospital project has become a sacred conduit pipe for siphoning the nation's resources. It's always there. And so there are some projects like that that remain conduit pipes for years. And like I said, sacred conduit pipes because nobody touches the people that siphon the money over time. And until someone now decides to blow the deed, what the ICPC chairman is trying to do here. So I remember, for instance, the case of the Humanitarian Affairs Ministry, which for a long time was a conduit pipe for siphoning national resources. You have cases of school feeding program. Children were fed when they were not even in school, and they came to affect you with billions of naira of the nation's resources. So this hospital project could well be just one of those projects. And then who were the contractors, who were the ones collecting the money? They must also be held accountable. They must also be brought to book. But like I said, I do fear for the ICPC chairman that I hope he's not dipping his hands into the scorpion's hole. But then he's doing what he should do. It's his job to expose these kind of things, and it's his job to bring the perpetrators to book. So I wish him all the best in this task ahead of him. And I know that in the days ahead, more facts, more damning facts and revelations will be brought to light, even regarding other projects that have been bogged down by corruption in this country.
Yes.
Okay. Petrol ex-depot price drops by 2.7% to 895 naira per litre. Looks like we are getting somewhere, Bimbo.
Yes.
And the price war, the competition, well, I hope these things will stand and in due course. Well, Bimbo, personally, I'm looking forward to 500 naira per litre. Across board, across all the filling stations.
Yes. That's what people are expecting. Across board. That one petrol station will be selling at 492 naira, one will be selling at 501 naira, one will be selling. What the petrol stations will be selling at, like what we expect, what we are projecting, 500 naira.
But then some also saying 200 naira. Then, well, I think for me, well, nothing is impossible, Bimbo, but I think that's a bit too ambitious.
It will be gradually.
But one thing I'm worried about, we've been having this fluctuating increases. It goes up, then we have the fluctuating decrease. It goes up, it comes down, it goes up, it comes down. And Bimbo, we don't seem to have a corresponding fluctuation in the price of goods and services. It keeps going up.
Yes.
It keeps going up, especially the cost of transportation. Even at times when we go for a long spell, the fuel is being sold at a reduced cost. Well, very much at a reduced cost now across many parts of the country compared to what we had in the past few months. But then the cost of petrol, the cost of goods and services have refused to go down. So I do not know why this is not happening. Because it was because petrol price was jacked up. That's why we had to pay through the nose for many of these things. So why we're not having that corresponding decrease, which many Nigerians expect? That's the only way the drop in the price of petrol would have been worthwhile. So I think the authorities, the government, also have to look into this. Maybe gradually, when we have a more stable price regime in the petroleum sector, then the government must begin to seriously look into why that has not corresponded to more affordable cost of living.
Yes, it is. Because of the greediness of our people. Yes, I believe that is part of it. Our people, our people and Shirawa.
It could be that, but it could also be that maybe they are also having some issues to deal with in terms of the cost of running their business. So I do not know. I cannot exactly place my finger on what that could be, aside from the cost of petrol, which everyone is saying. Everyone in business is saying has made them to increase the cost of goods and services. But that's why I said maybe the government should look into this. When things are more stable, of course, in the petroleum sector, and we are sure that we are not going to have an astronomical shoot up again, then the government should be able to confidently ask them questions like we are asking now.
Yes.
Lagos Assembly crisis, Miranda survives as Tinubu fails to meet GAC team. And personally on this Lagos Assembly crisis, I'm confused. I'm not whose side is Mr. President on. Let's take it down to politics now, internal politics of Lagos itself, Lagos politics, and the various interests involved in this crisis. Like I said, I'm wondering on whose side is Mr. President.
Please.
And it's not a noisemaker, so you find it rather difficult to guess exactly where he wants the pendulum to swing at any point in time regarding any major party issue. But some are saying that Mr. President wants the ex-speaker, Mr. Obasa, back in office. Some are saying that is not the case. Some are saying, but really I do not know. But the other
Nigeria lose their lives to cervical cancer. The cancer is caused by a virus called HPV, human papillomavirus.
Well, we are back, and the program is still conversation. Some strange ECOWAS members may opt to return, as coming from the presidency. Total dream for me. That's wishful thinking. You failed to initially. You were talking about the ECOWAS leadership now. Of course, led by the Nigerian president. Initially, when they left, you were flexing muscles and then threatening them with sanctions and all that. Well, eventually you decided to back down and then try to convince them, to plead with them to come back. They refused to come back. They formed their own organization, the Sahel states. And then all that being said, you went back to threatening them. Now you are saying that some strange ECOWAS members may opt to return. I think they should just leave them, these countries alone. I think they've defined their own path. I think they've defined their own destiny. Majorly, well, as they say, majorly because they want to be free of the apron strings of the colonialists, of their colonial masters, and then they see ECOWAS as a bending to the whims and caprices of this colonial masters.